The Buffalo Bills face a matchup against the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football that ultimately could break their winning streak. Bills Mafia, I don't think this is a trap game. I don't think our coaching staff is overlooking this game. I don't think our players are overlooking this game. But Bills Mafia, we're going into a game that could be more dangerous than we want to give it credit for. Yes, Buffalo is a perfect 4-0 going into this game. And, the Patriots are a measly 2-2. But last week, they looked really good against the Carolina Panthers. Their run game really got going, which is, frankly, our greatest weakness. I know Ed Oliver just got interviewed yesterday, and he was talking about if we clean up some gaps and we make some better tackles, then ultimately that we would be able to stop the run more efficiently and we'd be a pretty elite unit. But here come the Patriots off a really big game led by a young quarterback who definitely is ascending. We don't want to see that. Of course, after 15 years of watching Tom Brady play against us, we don't want to see another ascending quarterback for the New England Patriots. But again, he's a year two player who with his legs and with passing is showing a level of growth. And again, of course, a familiar face coming in Stephon Diggs. They've got another good guy, Will Campbell, who's going to match up really well against Joey Bosa. That is a key matchup we want to watch this weekend. But this isn't just another game. This is the kind of matchup that could shatter our streak. And of course, a lot of NFL talking heads are saying that the Buffalo Bills are going to win, and I agree with them. I do think Buffalo is going to win, but I also look at Colleen Wolfe and I'm like, what is going on? Why are you picking the Patriots? Because there are some really good, valid reasons that this game could be a bigger threat to us than we even want to, again, acknowledge. The New England Patriots do have some offensive weapons, do have some things in their pockets that work against our weaknesses. We need to talk about those today. But in all of it, my name is Colin. This is Crack the Table. We are all Bills and no breaks every single day. I'm dropping new Buffalo Bills content. So if you haven't joined our community, make sure to hit the subscribe button. But also, it really helps me out every single day. And I'm thankful that you do this. Hit the like. But also, if you would drop in the comments right now, go Bills, or drop your score prediction, that really helps me out too. But let's have a conversation today and let's walk through this. First and foremost, again, we are in this rivalry game against the New England Patriots. We cannot overlook this game, but we're also debuting our new rivalries uniforms. I'm really excited about that. But the thing in this matchup that has my eyes fixated on it is how is Drake May going to do against this defense that has been leaking yards on the ground? You know who we've been really leaking yards against is mobile quarterbacks. Week 1 against Lamar, even with Matt Milano in the game, we had some struggles with leaking yards. You can see this right now, the Wednesday practice report. Matt Milano still limited. Ed Oliver still limited. We're not sure yet at this point of the week if we're going to see them back in action on Sunday Night Football. But Drake May is just is in his second season, but he's already playing like a veteran. He's completing 74% of his passes, which is actually best in the league. We don't want to admit it, but this guy's playing really well. He's third in passer rating in the league, and on third downs, he is very, very good. He's been nearly unstoppable, but it's not just his arm that worries me. I've already alluded to this, but it's his legs. May leads the league, or leads the entire NFL in scrambles with 24 of them, and he's turning them into 10 first downs and even 2 touchdowns. Buffalo on our defense, we're leaking yards against rushing quarterbacks. We're 30th against rushing quarterbacks. Lamar gashed us until Justin Fields got his concussion. He had a couple big runs. And again, with Matt Milano out, potentially limited, who is going to be spying Drake May from our defense? Bills Mafia, if this guy starts extending drives with his legs, it's going to lead to more points, whether it be through field goals or touchdowns before we knew it. But it's not just Drake May's legs that are worrying me about this offense from the Patriots. It's the entire rushing attack. Antonio Gibson, Ramondre Stevenson, and Travion Henderson have all looked good in different packages and different roles for their offense, whether it be the kick returns, the punt returns, whether it be just out in the flats, running the ball in screens, whether it be just gashing up the A or B gaps. They have been really good at running the ball all year. And we know that the Buffalo Bills have been giving up 156 yards on average per game this year, which is bottom 5 in the NFL. Without Ed Oliver and without maybe some of our rookies and some of these suspended guys playing with an elite, our Dean Walker and TJ Sanders have not been very, very good against stopping the run quite this season. We're bottom 5 again in the NFL against rushing attacks. We're giving up 4.7 yards per carry per PFF, and the tackling again is a league worst 17% missed tackle rate, and that is the exact formula that Mike Vrabel is looking at. We saw the same thing with the Saints last week. They said, said, if we're going to win this game, it's going to be by exploiting the weaknesses of the Buffalo Bills. And the weakness is that teams can come into our house and they can pound the ball in the middle of the line and shorten the game and take the air really out of Highmark. But the New England Patriots do have the bodies to come into our house with their offensive line and with Ramondre Stevenson himself averaging 4.4 yards a carry, and the explosive plays of Trevion Henderson. I think we're going to be a little worried about it. But even again, last week they played against the Carolina Panthers and ran for 170 plus yards, which the Carolina Panthers run defense has been actually decent earlier on this year. But if the Patriots establish the run early, May doesn't have to play hero ball. He doesn't have to put the ball in positions that it could get intercepted. They could really defend against turnovers. And then again, maybe he hits Diggs on a play action pass, or some of these other receivers, Kayshon Boutte or some of these other guys. We'll see what happens. But that could be a nightmare scenario for the Buffalo Bills. But on the other note, of course, we still have Josh Allen, right? I'm still convinced that our offense is going to outscore any other team's offense, despite the fact that our defense is leaking yards and leaking first downs and leaking touchdowns. Josh Allen is a man on a mission right now. He's playing at an elite level, 70% completion, 10 touchdowns, and nearly 1,000 total yards already. The pressure on him this week, I think, is pretty high. It's pretty massive because the Patriots defense down the field is actually pretty stout, except for in the red zone. The red zone, the Patriots have one of the worst defenses, 31st overall, and Vrabel is going to try to throw between the 20s. Vrabel is going to try to throw the kitchen sink at Josh Allen. They're going to try to get after him really aggressively. But history shows and history says that Josh Allen is going to rip up the New England Patriots. He has 15 touchdowns in the last 4 games against them. So if the Patriots can keep him in a cage, that could be bad news for us. But honestly, for me, it doesn't really matter because we have James Cook, who is going to continue on his historic pace. Here's some stats on the screen. He is on pace for 1,700 total rush yards. This is insane. James Cook has truly been the engine of this offense. 401 total rushing yards, only behind Jonathan Taylor in the NFL right now. 3 straight games with 100 yards. And actually, the only other person who has done that in Bills history since 2011 is Fred Jackson, who's going to be at the game on Sunday night, which is very exciting. But again, he's facing a New England Patriots defense that is second best in football, only allowing 77 yards per game, a 3.3 average per carry rate. But if Cook gets bottled up, Josh Allen and him are really going to have to work together to exploit this defense. And you know what? Earlier this week, we saw some drills where Josh Allen was tossing the ball down the field into some of these deep passes. I think his average depth of target might actually increase this game, and we might see Josh Allen take some shots, but also really exploit the weaknesses in the Patriots secondary, which is, I think, the matchup that's ultimately going to win this game. But the question for me right now, or the question for you right now, is can Cook punch through the walls of the New England rush defense? Or is this going to be a game where he takes a back seat? Do you think he's going to have over 100 rushing yards against this team? But again, Bills Mafia, we can't sugarcoat this. Our defense, our zone defense against passing, we've limited big plays, but we've still been gashed here and there by receivers. Bills secondary, in some context, in some way, has been good, but in other ways, we've been beaten. We could be one of the best units on the in the NFL, but at the same time, we're giving up these soft zone looks. Of course, Stephon Diggs knows the defense. They know he knows what's going to be exploitable, and he knows McDermott's system. And so, what's going to happen with Stephon Diggs? Is this a revenge game for him? Is he going to come in and is he going to have some big plays? I don't know. But one guy I want to talk about on the Patriots as well. Of course, we can talk about Christian Gonzalez. We can talk about Will Campbell and the Joey Bosa matchup, which again I think is one that I really want to watch on Sunday. But the Marcus Jones guy, who's going to be the returning specialist, who had a punt return for 87 yards earlier this season. He's got 2 scores already for New England. We have got to be really good on special teams. We can't overlook this exceptional play by this guy. But in all of it, the Patriots aren't the dynasty anymore of the 2010s. They aren't the dynasty anymore that we're worried about, but they are growing and they are becoming more dangerous as a squad. They are going to look to exploit the defense of the Buffalo Bills, the rush defense specifically. And you know what? They have got a former star receiver that's coming in for a revenge game, and we cannot overlook him. The Buffalo Bills are still undefeated, but they're slipping into maybe not a trap game, but a dangerous game that could continue to expose maybe some weaknesses on our defense. I think Buffalo does roll. I do think we win 31-24, but it's not going to be as easy as a game as maybe we want to. Maybe not as comfortable. I would love to win by 2 touchdowns. I know Vegas has us as like a touchdown favorite at home, but again, I think the streak survives. I think this team stays alive, is 5-0 going into the next week's game against the Atlanta Falcons. But in all of that, it's going to be a good game. I'm really excited for Sunday Night Football. It's going to be awesome to see these uniforms under the lights. You know, even here on this, on this clip, they're getting all the decals off the old helmets and they are putting on the new thing. I'm just so excited for this. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an awesome game. I don't know. What are you most excited for? What matchups in this game are you looking at most specifically? But in all of it, drop your score predictions below. I'm Calm. This is Crack the Table. We are all Bills. No breaks. God bless. Go Bills. Have a great day. Peace out.